Hey guys, this is Adam Manley from Good Life Property Management, here today to give you guys a rental market update video for the second quarter of 2021. I know it's been a little while since I checked in, so we just kind of wanted to bring you guys up to speed with some of the things that we're seeing here in the last quarter. We're going to be going over the following things in today's video. I'm going to be giving you guys a look at some of our rental data for the past quarter, kind of some of the things we're seeing and feeling in the rental market. I'm going to give you guys a brief legislative update from some of the new laws that have occurred over the last 90 days. And then I'm also going to give you guys a little bit of some predictions that I have for the future, so stay tuned for that. All right, guys, so the first thing that I wanted to touch on was actually some of the rental statistics we've had over the last 90 days, and then go into some of the things we're actually seeing and feeling here in San Diego in the rental market. So in April of the second quarter this year, we had a 13.94 days on market average, and we leased 20 properties in the month of April. In May, we saw a very sharp decline of our days on market. It dropped down to about 8.32, so about 8.5 days. And we also increased the number of properties that we rented at 25. And then in June, we saw the days on market drop down again to 7.92, which was the lowest we've ever tracked in our company history. And we leased 26 properties in the month of June. So June was an absolute crazy month. In terms of what we're actually seeing and feeling here in the rental market, it's still largely being driven by the lack of inventory. We think the strong demand is largely being plagued by just the sheer lack of overall properties in the rental market. The other thing we're seeing, and this is also a continuation of what we saw last year, is a very large number of qualified applicants for every property that we put on the market. Sometimes we're really overwhelmed by just the number of applications we get on a particular property. And then one of the last things we're noticing is that the demand for certain types of properties has somewhat subsided over the last 90 to 120 days. We really saw back during COVID that downtown properties took a very sharp hit in rent, and we're kind of noticing that change a little bit, especially through the summer. The demand for every type of property remains very strong. So those are some of the numbers in terms of the data that we're actually looking at, and then some of the things we're seeing and feeling here in the rental market in San Diego. All right, guys, in section 2 of the video, I wanted to give you guys a quick legislative update over the last 90 days. Really, the most important thing to happen over the last 90 days is Assembly Bill 832 passed in California. We made a very detailed blog about this that we're going to include in the description below the video. And we also made a very detailed video breaking down AB 832 that we'll include below the video as well. So check out both of those links to find some really detailed information about the bill and how a very in-depth look at how it affects the market here in San Diego. But a very quick highlight on AB 832, it extends the tenant protections awarded under SB 91 to September 30th of this year. It also established the Rental Housing Recovery Act, or built on it a little bit more, and added some additional eviction restrictions. And it also made eligible landlords are now able to receive 100% of delinquent rents from the COVID period. And to find out if you're an eligible landlord, head over to that blog and that video to really find that detailed breakdown. And then the last part of AB 832 were some additional disclosure notices that landlords were required to send tenants. So we have a full breakdown of that, but that was definitely the most important thing to happen over the last 90 days legislatively. All right, guys, if you stuck around this long in the video, you know that section 3 is all about the future and my predictions for the rental market moving forward. So one of my main predictions is that I think we're really going to see strong demand in the rental market through the fall and the winter. This is largely due to the lack of inventory right now, but I also think that the traditional seasonal deadlines that we've had are by and large gone. Traditionally, we've had kind of a September cutoff for the summer season. You know, kids are going back to school. And then generally by about November, it's considered the winter season where things really die down. Last year, we really saw an erosion of those deadlines. The market stayed strong through the fall and the winter, and I really think that's going to continue into the future. Kids are learning remotely. People are working remotely. That really contributes to some of those hard deadlines. and definitely a trend I think is going to continue in the future, at least here in the San Diego market. I know in other places it's largely weather driven also, but here in San Diego we do enjoy pretty nice weather all year round. And then my last kind of prediction is I do feel that there is a little bit of inflation right now in some of the rental prices. This may be due largely to the lack of inventory, as I've mentioned previously, but it's something we could see change in the future. We might see prices maybe make a small correction in the rental market. Who's to say for sure? We don't know, just a prediction, but it's something I'm personally seeing here. So that kind of wraps up the video, guys. It's still a great time to rent your property out. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines and maybe considering this or need more information about the current rental market right now, please give us a call. We'd love the opportunity to talk to you guys and learn a little bit more about your rental property and see how we might be able to help you out. Thanks.